Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy Michael, and welcome to another episode for the Juego Bonito podcast. It's our weekly Friday show. I got my co-host back with me, Eric and Nick. What are you guys saying?
What's
What's
good,
going
bro?
on, man?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So basically, today, we're gonna discuss the Super League is back, according to reports. And then we're gonna focus on Nick's and Eric's clubs because they're the ones more in the news this week than my club, which is a shocker. But we'll
Yeah.
discuss the Roman Abramovich sale that will happen soon enough, and then Bayern's looking like their dynasty in a way is kind of crumbling slowly and slowly. So as you see in the thumbnail, I have Nick's favorite person on the thumbnail. My guy Brazo, he's in the thumbnail. He
Oh
made
my
it this
god.
week. Yeah,
Uh,
I found a picture of him.
it's rough.
But yeah, so we'll start with the Super League. Obviously that's back. Honestly, in my opinion kind of it like changed from last year after like kind of the last year I've been more and more into football, like the politics of it. And I looked at the proposal, just for anyone that doesn't know, it's kind of they fixed the proposal in a lot of ways. Like there's no more automatic staying even if you like finish last in the Super League. There's like a relegation stuff, there's a promotion stuff. So it's kind of now it kind of looks more like a replacement for Champions League than it was last year. Last year was kind of more of a like a hierarchy. Like if you were a big club, you're guaranteed and stuff. This Super League looks a lot more fair. Obviously, there's fans against this still in terms of integrity, but I don't know if have both of you guys seen like the 2024 UCL reformat?
I only saw that there's four more teams, but I didn't really look at the rest of the rules.
Yeah, I did. It's a bit confusing, but not
I'm
really
gonna
sure
look it
like
up
what's gonna
now.
go down.
Yeah. So basically, I'll talk about the reformat first. The format is kind of like like it kind of favors the big teams more and more. Like I think it's an example was let's say in the Premier League this year, right? If West Ham were to finish fifth, right, and United were to finish sixth,
hmm
um, in that reformat, since there's more teams, United would go above West Ham in the UCL because their coefficient is higher in the UEFA rankings.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically based on your success in Europe in the past, I think, past 5 years. United don't have that much, but they have more than West Ham. But and it would be the same for like Arsenal, I think, over West Ham and stuff like that. So obviously, it favors the big six because the big six are consistently in Europe, so they have gotten some kind of pedigree in that aspect. While smaller teams in the Premier League, like the Leicesters and the West Hams, would be out of favor in that aspect. And similar to Serie A, say Fiorentina, who are making a push for Europa League and stuff like that, would be out of favor for a Roma or Juventus. Do you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to go here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So So how do you guys feel about the? I'm sure both of you. I'm hoping that both of you have seen the Super League reformat that Perez and Agnelli have created. So Nick, I'll go to you first. How do you feel about it?
So I've always been against the Super League. I still am, even though I'm more like, what's the word here? I guess I just like the new rules more because I'd rather have a promotion relegation for that kind of league instead of just a closed off league. But um, with the way Bayern's been recently, they might have to dabble in it and actually like go into the league because they're broke. So, or acting like it anyway. So, um, yeah, I still need to. I probably should have read about it a little bit more, but if they stick with these rules and try and just keep it this way rather than how they initially proposed it, and the fans and the clubs were in an outrage, um, I think I can appreciate this more than the initial proposal.
Yeah, I think the Super League is still a terrible idea. I mean, like although they're kind of like polishing up like on like what they initially did, and it does seem better than what it is, like that doesn't not make it horrible. But also
Yeah.
UCL and Sheffield are making it easier on themselves with their 2024 plan. So I feel like it's not so like one sided now. I feel like there's a few like there's like a good amount of fan base like on the Super League side, especially with the way things are going now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what the smart thing that UEFA did was that they kind of introduced the 2024 format the weekend that the Super League got dropped last year. So it made themselves look like the heroes. That was like their PR move, and no one questioned the reformat. But No, after that the Super League died. We kind of looked more into it, and then kind of just like they're the same evil, you know. It's two evils, and they're I don't know which one's better at this point because I don't know if I don't trust UEFA at all, and I don't trust like the Super League at all either. I mean, I don't want to I don't want to be playing a big club every week, you know. I kind of like the league, like the frequency of it being like small. Like we haven't played Bayern Munich in like 5 years now, I think, something like that. I kind of
Something
obviously we're gonna get
crazy.
smacked, but I like that it's a
I don't
rare.
know right now.
I like that it's a rare game. Like it's like it makes it more special. Like that Wednesday night in the San Siro, as we like to call it. That's the one that always thinks San Siro always comes to my mind when I think of UCL nights, and like the Tuesday night in the Bernabeu. So I feel like that's special. I don't want to go to the new camp every week, every year. That's kind of boring. That's the
Yeah,
only thing I come from.
we haven't played in since 13, 14.
Yeah.
Jesus. We really haven't played a lot at all. My God.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, it's kind of like that you don't trust UEFA. It's kind of like the lesser of two evils at this point because they're both corrupt and all that jazz that we know of. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty much honestly, but I mean, there's not that much to talk about. Do you guys think that like obviously they proposed it, but they haven't like made anything official yet? They just like laid out a plan. They still have to go through all the courts and stuff like that. Obviously, we're not going to see it this year, but let's go into the future by like 2024 when this UCL reform is supposed to happen. Do you think the Super League will be active by then, or do you think it'll get shut down again?
I feel like it's gonna get shut down. Like I feel like the response from the fans is so harsh, and I feel like that was such a big problem for the stockholders. I really don't think like the clubs actually care about the fans. Obviously, like without fans, there's no one buying their product. Just like the consumers aren't there, so obviously they care more about the money and stockholders. And we do have that power, and the people who live there, the locals, have that power as well. So I feel like the power to the people is way stronger than the 1%. So I feel like if it were to happen again, there would be more protests and it would be bigger than ever. So I don't really think it's good economic wise, especially in these COVID times.
Yeah, like you were saying with the protest, the protests that happened last year were basically done in like a day, like immediately. So imagine if you give people more time to protest, they'll be there forever. They won't go away quietly.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Gary Neville. Someone called him Gary Churchill. Was like on Twitter yesterday. Right away, he heard Super League and he started going on his Twitter like, "Oh, we gotta fight it, yada yada." This guy's trying to lead a protest against it already. I mean, he's kind of made up his mind. I think for his sake, it's because he owns a club in like the lower leagues, and he's obviously the more money that goes into the bigger leagues, the less money goes into the lower leagues. I think that's the way that he thinks of it. So he's more worried about his pockets than he is actually worried about football, in my opinion. So it's kind of sneaky move by him, but obviously in the public's eye, like in the media's eyes, like it'll never be popular. It's up to like whether the Super League can kind of convince the fans, whether they can like if they can win over the fans. Obviously, they hear it. Obviously, like they hear it. What's it called? The fans. If they can win over the fans, that's the most important thing for them because if they get the fan love for it, then yeah. But who knows? The media also corrupts the fans' minds, so that's what happened last year, and it could continue happening again. But anyway, moving on from the Super League because it's still early days for that. Gonna go back to let's start with Chelsea. So obviously, what's going on over in Ukraine and Russia? Obviously, it's terrible and all that, but it's also affecting the sports world. I wrote an article for it for my school newspaper, like the effects of it, and the biggest effect, in my opinion, is what's going on with Chelsea Football Club. Owner Roman Abramovich, due to his close connections with Vladimir Putin in the past and maybe now, has been forced to sell the Chelsea due to the owners. Not due to the pressure by the British government and the British media. So, Eric, I'll go to you as the Chelsea fan. Obviously, you've been a fan since Roman's almost early days, like 3 years in, I think, from his reign. So, obviously, this affects you more than anyone. So, the floor is yours on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of stuff I can really ramble about, but I can try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. I mean, when I was in class and I got the news, like I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and like some people were saying other people for this on Twitter, but like I was kind of driven to like the point of like some tears. because I feel like without like, as people say, Daddy Roman or like to call him. I mean, like I obviously wouldn't be a Chelsea fan. I mean, I didn't grow up in Fulham. Obviously, I grew up in New York, so like having the club being so big thanks to him. I mean, although the club wasn't big, it was still a decent club that was obviously going to get liquidated before he came. But it was he's a very strong influence for the club, and I think without him, like we would be like in the lower mid tables or like getting Europa League or barely stuff like that, like with the West Hams and them. But so it was a huge impact for me, honestly. But it's hard to start because he's done so much for the club, and it's obviously shown that he didn't really care about the money. And like this is like his baby in a way. So I mean, he just cares so much for the club and for the fans and for all of that. So it hit me in a more emotional way than I thought it would. Honestly, it was almost the same. I mean, not as bad, but it was almost the same as like the Frank Lampard sacking. But yeah, I think overall, I mean, hopefully he sells to someone not just because for the money, which he obviously isn't doing. I feel like he's gonna sell to a person who actually cares for the club as well, which is hard to find. I don't think any of them care. But if he sells to someone who really cares, which is impossible to find, he's obviously not looking for businessmen that want to make an investment because obviously you can see with Roman, like buying a football club isn't going to lead to making profit. It's almost impossible now, like unless you're in the Super League or whatever stuff like that. So people who are going to buy the club sooner rather than later, I feel like they would actually have to care for the club instead of seeking it as a form of investment. Because investment with any football club nowadays is almost impossible. But yeah, it's a tough time. Hopefully we get an owner that actually cares somewhat about the club. But yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you, like, I think the favorite is that Swiss guy, right? I think
Yeah, it is.
he obviously can't buy by himself. He's getting partners. I think the rumored partner was a current part owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Obviously, us from America, we kind of know like the Dodgers and like they're kind of successful. So, but obviously, we all know how dangerous American owners can be in the sport. I personally know, obviously, since I hate my owners, but. Would you be happy with this? I mean, based on your profile, the picture that you're showing, obviously you wouldn't be happy with this guy.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, obviously, the value of their money isn't really there. I don't think that their net worth. I mean, I know what net worth is. Like, I obviously know it doesn't mean their money in their bank account, but it seems like they're not as valuable as Roman is. But according to reports that this is driven by Abramovich's scorn, so like he's kind of doing it in a way of spite. Like he's never really liked him. Like I'm guessing he's seeing the more political side of it, like
Gotcha.
of how he was an oligarch, blah blah blah. And he's just doing it out of spite. He's also 86. Like he's 86 years old.
So
So
this guy's older than Biden, bro. This guy's definitely seen now.
like I mean, this guy might croak before Lukaku leaves. So I'm not really too sure if this is the right owner for us. I mean, obviously, like I don't want to get too much into American sports, but obviously we know how big the Dodgers are and how big their payroll is and their wages and how they just go after superstar after superstar after superstar and give them 35 million a year max contracts. But it's not really the same in football.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different ball game, no pun intended. But yeah, I just don't think it's the same because like people are comparing to like, oh yeah, like I've read about the Dodgers and they buy all the good players, so that means well, you know, like Mookie Betts, all this stuff and all these big contracts, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Like, and it's said that they the first thing they want to do is revamp the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, compared to other stadiums, ours honestly looks like a lower league stadium. The capacity is like 40,000, blah, blah blah, compared to that of United, that of Madrid, Barca, that hold 80 to 100,000. But yeah, that's the first thing they want to do, and that's gonna take a long time. I mean, Roman tried to do it himself, and it didn't really work.
Yeah,
So
the thing with the stadium was I think Roman like 3 to 4 years ago like wanted to push it forward with the stadium. I think the fans were against it, if I remember correctly.
the fans were against it, and there's something wrong with the city.
Yeah. So obviously, like we all know, like the negative effects of like building a stadium in terms of like your transfer window money, because like all the money that the owners have goes right into the stadium, and we saw with Spurs they won like 2 summers in a row without spending any money. so they could continue building their stadium. Real Madrid did the same thing right now for the Bernabeu. So obviously, it would kind of have a negative effect on your summers. But yeah, but you guys also have a world class academy, and you've gone through the transfer ban before, so you can survive it as opposed to other clubs. But
Yeah, but I also don't want to go through that again.
yeah, no, I hear you. So, what would your? I mean, I don't know what your ideal owner would be. Like, obviously, I don't think the Saudis are gonna. I don't think another Saudi family's gonna come and buy Chelsea. In my opinion, I think that's not
Yeah,
gonna happen. But
yeah, I don't think so. But there's like someone related to the Mansours in like Egypt or something.
okay,
Maybe something like that. Yeah. I mean, also people are really hypocrites with like the morals of Roman Abramovich. Like nobody, no other multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, blah 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 blah, or like oil tycoon is a good person. Like I don't really understand. Like
yeah,
it's impossible to be a millionaire or a billionaire, well, billionaire in this case, and be a good person. Like there's no way you've like screwed someone over, or taken advantage of being an oligarch or being an absolute tycoon capitalist without screwing someone over. It's absolutely impossible. So it's like I'm looking for an owner that's a good person. That doesn't exist.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I think my boy Leah said on his TikTok, he said like, cause he's like he just judged Roman based on like him as a football owner. Obviously, I don't know Roman Abramovich. I'm not gonna call him a bad or good person. I don't know his history. I've heard some bad things. I've heard some good things. So I'm not here to judge him. I just want to judge him as a football owner. That's what he was, and the history shows that he's honestly the most successful owner of a club in the 21st century because he came into Chelsea, won the Prem right away, back to back, the 2 Champions League. He built that club was a top 6 club, and he made them a big 3 club. Like he made them join that discussion with the Liverpools and the Uniteds, and even surpassed Arsenal. So that's how successful his era was. Like he made Chelsea the biggest club in London when it used to be Arsenal's territory. So as an owner himself, and as compared to other owners, someone like me, I saw how my owners don't really care about it. Roman in the beginning was really invested. Obviously, he took a little step back as the years went on because he set up a structure at Chelsea where they don't need him anymore. He kind of was just like a sugar daddy, for example. He was just there to like bring in that money when they needed it. But other than that, he let his people do the work, like the revamp of the academy. Marina, I can't pronounce the last name. Obviously, one of the best directors. I don't know. Is she leaving? Do you know by any chance, or is she gonna stay?
Some reports yesterday said that she was leaving, but some reports today say that she might stay.
Yeah, that's probably something that's gonna happen. Like get decided at the end of the year, probably.
Yeah,
But,
it's a bit.
Hopefully,
It's a bit half. But personally,
Yeah.
I really hope she stays.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. So because if you do get new owners, you kind of want some people left from the Roman era to kind of like help the new owners transition into the club, kind of keep some stability because otherwise it could go all up in flames. I mean, the United had to do the same thing with the Glazers. Thankfully, God knows what it would have been like if the Glazers came in and Sir Alex wasn't there because Sir Alex kind of covered up the first few years, and then now we're seeing the repercussions of it. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, are you worried about like the future of Chelsea now, or do you think that like what Roman's built will be able to last?
I mean, as fast as Rome got built, it got burned down just as fast. So I mean, it's like I'm kind of scared for the future, but then again, like I've been very privileged to be a fan from abroad and being an 8-year-old and just looking at my TV and saying, yeah, that team, and then falling for like the rest of my life and literally seeing my team win it all from 2008 to a month ago. So I'm very lucky and privileged to say that. Obviously, I joke like, "Oh yeah, like the sports that's me, blah 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 blah." Like that's absolutely impossible. Like I'm not gonna absolutely like leave this team after 13 years. That's like almost more than people are married sometimes. But but yeah, like this marriage to this club is like probably gonna never end until I die. So I mean, like I can say I'm very lucky to see all this happen. But I am gonna stick with them, and I can say that if we go through hard times, that I was with them to the top. So
that's what I say, bro, about me. The tough times. You got to be there for the good times and the tough times.
yeah,
So anyway,
as that iconic video says, tough times never last. Tough people last.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I hope. Well, I mean, the friend in me hopes the best for Chelsea, but the United fan in me kind of hopes.
Oh yeah, of course that's fair. I mean, yeah, like I mean,
one less competitor. I need that because I already got to worry about the freaking Mansours. I got to worry about Liverpool. Hopefully, when Klopp leaves, that's all done. But
I mean, yeah, of course. Like I take the absolute piss out of the Glazers like every single day of my life, and obviously I feel bad for you that you haven't seen your club win a trophy in like 5 years, but it's also low key hilarious.
Yeah,
But
it's-
that's
fuck
just
that
the
club.
competitive sports world.
But yeah, moving on from Chelsea, we'll take a little short trip to the Bundesliga.
Oh yeah,
So in Germany, Bayern. Okay, first of all, I don't know if we discussed this. Like this is like playoff format that's getting introduced in the Bundesliga potentially. Which I don't understand. It's kind of like some NBA type shit, but
It's like the MLS basically.
it's like MLS. There you go. That's even better comparison. Not really, but yeah. So obviously, Bayern Munich, the funds are low. That's what they're looking at. Like Bradley said, must stay humble in these COVID times, and it's not humble right now because Bayern are
Staying too humble.
Yeah, saying too humble. So I'll mute myself. And Nick, the floor is yours on Brazil and Bayern.
All right, so the playoff format, from what I read, basically every Bundesliga owner but Bayern like doesn't want it. We're like the only ones that actually do want it. I don't understand why. Wouldn't you want to keep winning? I just don't understand why you would want to stop. So that's there hasn't been too much about it since that initial report came out that like a few Saturdays ago. So that's dumb. I don't like that. Then Brazo has we're basically broke. Like we're actually broke now, in my opinion. Like or enough that we can't make the big signings anymore, even though we haven't really made that many. And we weren't really planning on it either. There was pretty much Verts in 2 years. That was the plan. We're gonna hold off the big transfers and save for like one big one in like 2 years. There was talks about Pedri a few months ago, which obviously isn't going to happen. And there's Verts who wants to be at Bayern and is a Madrid target. And yesterday, what came out was that they have distanced themselves from a Verts transfer because they have their own Verts in Paul Vanner, who's a 16-year-old. Now he's good. I think he's a very good player, and I hope nothing but the best for him going forward. And he's gonna hopefully, if everything pans out well, he'll be fine. He's not Verts. He's not gonna be Verts. Verts is crazy already. He's 80 million probably, and it's a steal for him in my opinion. I think he's amazing. But the fact that we have distanced ourselves from a player who wants to be with us, who wants to be at Bayern, and wants to take that next big step in the Bundesliga if it's not abroad, what's the point? Do you just want to miss out on another star? We got lucky with Sane because he ended up coming the next year. Havertz wasn't. I wanted Havertz, but that didn't happen. Obviously, he's doing great things at Chelsea now. But what are you doing? I don't understand. You waste. Now, I love Lucas Hernandez. I think he's an amazing center back or defender because he plays left back, and I think he was absolutely worth a transfer. 80 million? No, he was not worth 80 million. That's very clear now. He was probably worth what Upamecano was worth in like the 42 million range. Upamecano was worth 20 million, if that. Like that's being generous for me because you guys know how I feel about Upamecano. He's shown that he's played well recently, sort of, not really. And he's had some bright spots, but 42 million is way too much for the way he's played this season. And like what we've done with Sven Ulreich, he's our backup keeper. He stinks. He went to Hamburg last season. So it's 2022. We sent him like winter of 2020 or something like that, like around 2 years ago. When we brought him back for this season, Hamburg was begging us to take him. That's how bad he was. Like he's like, please take him. We will do better without him. And it was clearly shown because we lost 4-1, 4-2 against Bochum. And even though like one of the goals wasn't his fault, he was not good at all. They took shots from, if Neuer was in goal, they wouldn't even have attempted them because they know he either would have made a good effort to stop it or would have stopped it, period. So the way this club has been run, when you have Stefan Ortega, who's basically Walmart Neuer in the Bundesliga, who could have been our number 2 keeper, we went for Ulreich instead. And Sabitzer, there's rumors he might even get sold now. So with the way these transfers have been done, with 120 million on 2 center backs, when one of them stinks. What's going on? I don't. And now we're gonna re-sign Tolisso, who is just showing a purple patch now for like a month, and now he's injured again. He'll be out for 4 weeks. From the time he got injured, I think he'll be back in like 2 weeks now. But I don't get it. It's pretty clear that like this isn't how Bayern was run a few years ago. It's clear that it's just not. It's not Bayern anymore. If you guys know what I mean, it's not the way they used to be run. And although the board has never been like the best in a way, they're acting like they aren't Bayern. They don't want to make a big signing, even though it's Bayern. It's like, come on. And it just stinks. I kind of rambled on and went to 3 different tangents there, but I think as a whole, it's just very annoying. Even though we're top of the Bundesliga right now, and we drew our first leg of the UCL, but it's just annoying, to put it simply.
Yeah. So obviously the big rumor to leave is Lewandowski in the summer.
Oh, God,
His contract is up next summer, and obviously he doesn't want to leave Bayern for free. He wants them to get some kind of compensation for him. So do you think that?
There.
Yeah, right there. So do you think that Bayern would be able to like extend him, or do you think that he's actually leaving in the summer?
Honestly, it's a toss up. It's either they give him the contract that he's asking for, in his words. It's like no, not in his words, but it's basically if they give him the contract he's asking for, he will sign. If they don't, he's likely to leave.
Yeah.
I think he's going to end up staying because who are we going to bring in? We've got Choupo-Moting as a
Joshua
backup.
Zirkzee.
Oh God, company hates him. But we've got Choupo-Moting as a back. He's a solid striker. I don't have a problem with him. Great off the bench. He played amazing when Lewa was hurt against PSG last year. But I saw a rumor for Zazda Kalajic, and someone replied under the tweet saying they probably met up just to figure out how to pronounce his name, because although he's
Good one.
although he's a solid striker, he's not it. He's a great solid player, but not for Bayern in my opinion. And what would they even sign him with? The 30 mil that we get for Lewandowski if we sell him? I don't understand. But I hope Lewandowski stays, and he's one of my favorite players of all time. So that would really suck if he left. Unless we get like Haaland, he needs to stay, and that's not happening either.
Yeah, you can't afford Haaland because
Nope.
it's not because of like the fees, so like the wages, the agent commission, and all
Can't
that.
afford Raiola's fee.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's half the fun. That's half the amount that the transfer fees. So
Raiola's fee would be what we get for Lewandowski.
pretty much. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Bayern. Yo, any chance Joshua Kimmich is available in the summer?
We just
Very
signed
good question.
him. We just extended him.
God
That's a shame.
I'm trying. Bro, I can't even think of that many players to poach. Obviously, like, I would love Level as like a short
want
stopgap for
Tolisso?
like the striker position. No, I'm good.
Goretzka.
No, this guy's gonna
Not-
die.
He's too
His
hurt.
hamstrings are cooked, bro.
Wages would probably be too high anyway for someone that injured.
We extended him before Kimmich. You know who's available currently? Gnabry.
No, he hates my club more than he hates like.
He hates your
Yeah.
city.
He'd be
I
helpful
don't
in Big
know.
Six games, though.
He
You know.
hates my city. Yeah, true, but
Nah,
yeah, I'll pass.
But
yeah, nah.
again,
Only
with
player I would
Gnabry,
want
I
is-
think he's staying.
only player I would really want is like Kimmich, Neuer. That's never gonna happen. It's like all the players that can't leave.
Bro, Neuer's gonna retire with us,
Yeah.
and it's not he's what's the word? I just had it. He's just not leaving. There's no way.
Yeah. No. It's a pipe dream.
Yo,
Oh,
Brazo, if you're fucking watching, I'm sorry for that. If you're watching, if you don't extend Thomas Muller, I will find you. I promise. Okay?
yeah,
I
he's
swear to
not.
God.
He's not watching. He doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know who you are either. Unfortunately for you, but
Yeah, he could
yeah,
use some of my ideas, dude. Oh.
Eric, do you want to speak on the Carabao Cup final or no? Or
I mean, I can slightly quickly say something. I mean, I was at work. Obviously on Sundays, I work all day, so I couldn't catch Le Carabao Cup final, the energy drink final that pays $100,000 for the winner. Damn absolute shame that Roman couldn't get that money before he left. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame that we lose a final like that. Could have got 2 trophies this season. Looks like it's gonna stay as one in the Club World Cup, which is fine by me.
well,
But
technically too, the Super Cup. You won
oh
it
yeah,
this
true,
year.
yeah, two, yeah. Had a treble. Ah, damn it. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's just the same players underperforming in times like these. It's just us not finishing our chances. I mean, it's happened ever since Frank was with us. I mean, these same players like Mason Mount and stuff like that who just don't finish their chances, and then we pay for it. Obviously, I feel like we did deserve to win the game, but if you don't finish your chances, and if Wembley finals and referees go against you and they give offside goals to goals that aren't offside, and if they don't give red cards to players ripping other players' groins in half, and if goalkeepers take pens in the 11th round, I mean that's what happens. So I mean it was kind of on us in a way with like Mount not finishing his chances, Bush just not finishing his chances, and same with Havertz. But yeah, I mean, you pay the price for not doing that, and these top elite clubs with strikers like Lewa and Holland and stuff like that. I mean, they get that edge like that because when that striker gets 2-3 chances, they're scoring 2-3 goals. They don't need
Mm.
absolute like 10, 11, 12 chances or some cross and a goal from the defender in order to win a game. So I feel like that's what the difference is between Chelsea and other ginormous clubs that get them over that hump. But
My striker used to be like that. It's crazy. Good
yeah,
times.
but I mean, it's a shame. I was more disappointed on seeing takes from Liverpool fans on Twitter rather than actually losing the cup. I thought that was really annoying. But yeah,
Yeah, I
shame.
mean, I watched the full game because I was home. I was in my room, so it was a really good game. That's probably the best 0-0 I've ever seen in my life. So it was very entertaining. Shout out Edouard Mendy, sensational saves. Shout out to Thiago Silva, the best center back of our generation. So I think people need to start admitting that what he's doing at 37 is absolutely impeccable. Um, shout out to who else? Shout out to Kai Havertz. I thought he really did good at the false nine, and it's kind of looking like Lukaku. That false, he's got to do something else because that team just looks way more fluid with him in the attack than with Havertz and Lukaku. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen in the summer.
Yeah, but then again, when he came in, he scored a goal and it's supposed to be your winning goal. But
Yeah, I know, but
I
it's
mean,
just like
the goal is a very good goal too. Like
yeah.
that was like the Lukaku that I saw at Inter last year, and I fell in love with.
I feel like not like he could score, but I just feel like the sustainability of the fluidity attack is
Yeah,
like
of
more
course.
with Havertz. It's like just to continue creating chances. But
Yeah.
yeah, Mason Mount. I mean, the streets are saying that you're doing a heel turn on him, like you're
So,
Paul
yeah,
Heyman,
some
bro.
streets. I mean, some streets are saying that I'm not liking him as much. I mean, listen, like I'm a person who just says it the way it is. I'm very realistic, and like even if my favorite players are playing shit or they're playing bad, I'll say it openly. Um, and one of my favorite players, Mason Mount, is playing. I mean, he played well again the other day against Luton, but that's Luton. It's not a cup final. But it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you're my favorite player ever, blah, blah, blah. But if you're playing bad, I'm gonna say it the way it is. Like you're playing bad, and his performances as of late and the chances that he's missing in order to like win his trophy and stuff like that. Besides Champions League final, like people keep going back to that. Like I get it. Like I get he got the assist. It was phenomenal assist. I get it. Like that was in the past. We're living in the now. That was a trophy that we won, and we're looking to win even more trophies in the future. But and if he's costing his chances like that, it's really a shame to see. But yeah, I just say it the way it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, the Manchester Derby, which I'm going live again in 30 minutes with another guest for that. So that's a preview for that. In terms of other leagues, you guys play Burnley tomorrow. So
Yep,
that's
great no draw.
10 a.m. Bayern play Leverkusen at 9:30. It's a decent game.
Yeah, maybe the Verts can show Brazo why he
Yeah,
needs to
you
be
low
back.
key versus drop like a four piece on you. Just maybe that
Hey
will
man,
convince the funds.
Verts' first goal as in the Bundesliga was against Neuer. So I mean, and it was a nice goal too. So if that didn't show Brazo enough, I don't know what will.
4 goals will hopefully. In your case,
4 goals from him and then like a 5 spot from Bayern. You know,
yeah,
that would be nice. That'd be nice for me.
yeah. It's really the only big game, other than obviously Manchester Derby. Madrid play Sociedad. It's decent. I know Eric mentioned the FA Cup. I think the next round of fixtures got released.
Yeah,
Eric, you
yesterday.
play the super team. I like to call them a super team. They're low key a super team.
Yep.
Middlesbrough, bro. That's
Yep.
low key a super team. Yo, we took them in a pence, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to us. Stuff you shouldn't have been up 7-0.
But yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
We're
Go
away,
ahead.
so it's gonna be a tough game. And
No VAR.
yeah. So and like championship teams obviously have amazing home support, like almost as good as the Prem, or actually even better, I should say. But yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. I do see us winning, which is a bad thing, but I do see us getting away with the wins. But I'm also not expecting too much. I would also much rather lose now than lose a third final in a row. As my fellow
5 and
co-host,
6 at
yeah,
Wembley.
yeah, as my fellow co-host Nick saw the FA Cup final with me at my own house. That was pretty absolutely a roller coaster of emotion that I wanted to not let's say I wasn't happy with that final, if we make a final and lose 3 in a row, that like I might never watch football again, because I can't do that, man. That's ridiculous. So if their plan is to like to go to the final and be obviously one of the Liverpool or City, which they're not, yeah, just lose against Middlesbrough. I mean, actually, yeah, no, I want them to lose against Middlesbrough. I mean, they beat Spurs, United, and Chelsea, and they're like 7th or 8th. They're not even top 6 in the championship. I mean, I feel like with what they're doing now, they should get the 6th spot.
Yeah.
They should just get it automatically, because it's really phenomenal. It's a good story. And having a team like Middlesbrough in the semifinal of the FA Cup is absolutely unreal.
Yeah. Street saying that you guys have a Wembley curse, low key.
Wembley curse? I mean, yeah, of course you do.
Except the only team that you've beat in the final Wembley is us, and that's low key a little tax because we're dog shit. So
yeah,
that's low key United tax.
I remember that hazard pen, but
yeah, shout out Phil Jones. What a center back.
Appreciate it.
And shout out to Haya for that Wembley for the FA Cup semifinal. What a goalkeeper, man! Generational.
Oh, I remember that too. Yeah.
Generational.
But Chelsea and finals and Wembley don't go together, so.
Yeah. So, I feel obviously next week we have UCL back, thank God, because this midweek was absolutely horrific. Nick, you guys play this week, right? Next week?
Yeah.
Tuesday, I think.
Yes.
I will be in class, so I will not be watching that. But Wednesday we do have the second.
I'll be presenting a project.
Me too, bro. Me too. Hopefully Lewa does it. Hopefully Lewa does the business for you, so you don't have to stress.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, y'all can hold it. I'm gonna be at home.
Yeah.
So but
Wednesday we have the second leg of Real Madrid PSG. So.
Oh yeah, I will not be watching.
What happened?
I will not be watching.
Your class?
No, I'm going out with Ian. So I will not be watching that game, unfortunately.
And I'll be there after work.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Oh, yo. I'll tell you later. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'll be watching that. So obviously next Friday, tune in for that. Like the review of that of the week UCL. Yeah. I think there's maybe Prem on. I know United don't play it this week, thank God. Another week without United for 1 week. It's so beautiful, man. So good. So good.
What is it? Sunday or there's also Napoli Milan. That's not bad.
What, this Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
I missed that. What the hell?
And there's also Saturday Leipzig Freiburg. It's a good game. tied for
Oh,
fourth.
I did not know that.
Bundesliga.
Okay, that's a big game on Sunday then. It's bigger than Manchester
And-
Derby, low-key.
Is Saturday? Is tomorrow? Jesse Marsh's first game for Leeds. Or did
Yeah.
he manage last week too?
No, it's his first game.
All right, well, Ted Lasso is
Where they play?
first game. Wow. No, Leicester.
Leicester. Low-key, they might beat
7:30.
Leicester kind of
7:30 though.
mediocre, so I'll be sleeping. I got a bar call tomorrow, so I'm not.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll be up for that. Huh? No, I won't.
But yeah,
Never mind.
Milan, Napoli, that's a big game. Serie A. I know
Mhm.
Napoli are top after they beat Lazio last week. Shout out to Fabian Ruiz, good midfielder, very highly rated in this podcast. Good midfielder there. Scored a 90th minute winner, so they're top. And yeah, we'll probably discuss that game next week then, like in the Serie A title race, because it's the most interesting title race. Well, actually, it used to be. I mean, the Premier League has a title race now officially. So, yeah, domestic leagues are looking good. Hopefully, Sevilla can keep up the pressure in La Liga.
Mhm.
Dortmund are only 6 points off, but that's a Fugazi title race still. And
Watch
then
out, bro.
League One, we don't talk about that league because it's clipped. That league. But yeah, just a quick little episode today. Now, you have something to say,
Madrid
Nick?
Sociedad.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
not
decent game
not
tomorrow.
bad.
I won't be watching because I can't watch Carlo Ancelotti ball because it bores me to death. But I know Eric can attest to that as well.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, but hopefully Madrid do the business there just to keep something interesting, or maybe like a draw. But yeah, for me, I think Toni Kroos is injured, so that's one good, like one small thing. I think his
Mhm.
hamstrings are cooked. But Ancelotti said he hopes he's ready for PSG. This guy's gonna make this guy retire way too early, man.
I mean, wasn't Cruz talking about it for a little bit? Like he mentioned retirement or something. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wants
He
to
doesn't,
retire young.
he doesn't want to go as long as like Modric is.
He
Mhm.
can't. There's also no way.
Yeah.
He's not built like
Yeah.
that.
No, he's not. Yeah, Modric is built different. So
Yeah. So yeah, just a quick little episode today, just to catch up. So we did the Super League, did the Bayern talk, did Chelsea talk. Obviously, I kind of had the episode yesterday for United, so I kind of talked about them there. So I don't want to talk about that club every day. We're not talking about them later, but still, yeah. So socials plugging time. Obviously, I don't know why my Twitter. I don't have my Twitter there. Well, that's stupid of me. At Michael_Griggs26 for anyone that's watching. I'll drop the episode later. Follow the podcast, of course, at Pod on Twitter. It's in the byline. Follow the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe. The content's picking up. I'm trying to push it up to 2 to 3 videos a week now. My spring break's in a
Nice.
couple weeks. I'm gonna have episodes every day that week, and we might have a live recording of us 3 in the same house. So
Streets are saying.
that's what the streets are saying. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Streets are saying.
Allegedly. That's what the streets are saying. But yeah, so that day, so keep on the lookout for that. I'll try to get a couple big guests on that week as well. Some returning. I'll try to get my guys from Trafford Tunnel that Thursday to review the second leg of United Atletico. I'm gonna do a striker tier list episode similar to the manager one I did yesterday with the future strikers for United. I'm gonna try to get someone on for that, and yeah, just discuss football because that's what we love to do. Because I have nothing else to do because I am very bored.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. It's either that or do homework. I don't know which I'd rather do.
Talk about football.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So, yeah. You guys want to plug your stuff at all or no?
No, don't follow me on Twitter. I'll block you.
No, I'm alright.
I mean, your Twitter's on the bio and the Twitter page, so you can just find
Yeah,
it from there.
that's fine. That's good enough.
Yeah, there you go. You can do the work.
Go find a
Eric's
Twitter account for the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm the only one on my Twitter that actually really talks more about football. Eric does his own stuff on Twitter.
Yeah, he's just normal private.
Yeah. And then Nick does his hockey and he rants at officials in the NHL.
Oh yeah,
all
love
the
that.
time.
That's what his team. And curses out Rob Manfred. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I talk about
Yeah.
Bayern when they're on. It's alright.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you anyone that tuned in. I'll drop the full episode later for anyone that wants to watch it, just like in their own time. In case they don't want to watch it live. I don't blame you. It's still mad early. 12:30. Still early these days. But yeah. Also, shout out Batman. I'm watching that movie in 3 hours. Zoe Kravitz, wait me, sweetheart. Coming.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, peace.
Take it
Peace.
easy.